Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So we have got another how-to video. I've got my hair in braids because I'm going to film after this. I want my hair to be a little bit wavy, and it also keeps it out of my face, so that's good. But we've got a how-to video, our last kind of skin one, so it's our last like kind of skin look. The way I've been describing these is what way have I been describing them? So it's more like a skin look. It's not really specific foundations, it's not really specific on powders, it's more like the overall look of the skin, and you'll just take elements from each of the four that I've done. So I've done natural, matte, full coverage, and this is dewy is the one we're doing today, which is one of my favorite ones. My two favorites would probably be natural or dewy. I do like a medium coverage as well, but I also like a medium coverage that looks like skin. I also love a dewy look to my skin, especially this time of year, especially into the summer. Not that any of us have any holidays because we don't know what's going on. Anyway, before I keep rambling, let's get on to this look. So the way I work it is I'm going to show you guys primers, foundations, concealers, and I only have one powder for this look because it's not part of the look. If you want to powder, you can. And I'm going to show you a little thing that you can use at the end to use as your setting spray. I'm going to show options for different types of skin in terms of the primers, foundations, concealers, but that's up to you, and you can mix and match, and you can pluck little elements from other videos. So you can do a natural dewy skin, I'm going to do like a medium coverage. You can do a full coverage dewy skin. You could do a dewy skin for an oily skin, if that makes sense. You could do a, what else? What other way could you do? You could do a dewy skin that's more for a dry skin, which is kind of what this is going to be. So my skin itself is a dry dehydrate. It's currently broken out, so I will probably use another concealer that I haven't shown here. This is going to be more like the concealer I will use for this skin, but might use a heavier coverage just for these areas because I do want to cover them. So little thing on my own preferences, I don't mind seeing freckles, I don't mind seeing skin underneath it, and if you can still see some of these, I don't mind because that's realistic, but I do want them to not be as distracting as they are right now. So yeah, this is how my skin is looking right now. It's not in the best of shapes. So let's get on with it. I'm going to start with primer. On my skin at the minute, I've got on my Oilyish La Creme Concentrate moisturizer because I've been using that in a few of them, so I might as well just keep going with that. So let's move on to some primers for this dewy look and for different skin types. Okay, I've just zoomed you guys in just a smidge, just so you can see a bit more up close and a bit more detail, and I will kind of alter lighting and zoom in a little bit more so you can see texture as well, so you get an idea as to how it looks. So for primers, say you've got oily skin, you still want hydration. So hydration is key with this look. If you have to keep spraying your face, keep spraying your face. It's the whole point of this look is to be super dewy, super glowy, and super moisturized. Not oily looking, and also not, but you do want to be shiny because that's kind of part of it. Not glittery and not metallic. Even though I'm going to use a primer that is kind of metallic, but once everything else is on top, it doesn't look as metallic. So I'm going to start with the primer for an oilier skin. I would suggest the MAC Natural Radiance Primer. If you use MAC, it's a great one. It's oil controlling, but hydrating. Doesn't make the skin too matte, but it does stop it from getting shiny during the day. The next option you have is if you like a glow, but you don't want to be too intense, you do want it dewy and moisturized and all that jazz, I would go with the MAC Strobe Cream. No, I'm not anything to do with MAC. It's just I have a lot of their products. This is the MAC Strobe Cream. This is the Peach Light. They do red, gold, silver, and pink is the original. It's just the shimmer is slightly different, so it just sheens a little bit different. You can look at swatches online. This is a nice one. It's a moisturizer that has a pearl kind of in it, but it's quite soft. It's not too intense. But I want this to be nice and noticeable on the skin. So I'm going to go with the 17 Skin Wow 3-Way Highlighter Glow and Prime. It's this guy here. It's quite shiny. You will notice now when I put it on. I am going to use my fingers for this. You can use a brush if you would prefer. About 2 pumps I'm going to start with, and then we'll just see if I need any more, but I probably won't. So we are going to just apply this. You see what I mean? It's quite metallic, but I want it to be for this look. I want it to be nice and shiny. If you did want it to be this shiny, but say not everywhere, just do it in the areas you want. If you just want it to be on your cheeks, Just do it there. I want to be glowing. If you can hear some barking, that is my neighbour's dog Marley. I've probably mentioned him loads of times. He's the best. All dogs are the best, to be fair. My boyfriend's dog Jace is the best. He's my child, my adopted child. Marley is my second adopted child. I love him and he's beautiful. He's a golden retriever, if I need to mention this again. And I sometimes see him, I haven't got my windows open or my curtains open right now, but sometimes when I'm getting ready for work, I see him in the garden and it's great. It's the best part of my day. Now, let's move on to some foundations. There's loads, a million foundations you could use for this. It's all up to you. It's what you prefer. Sometimes doing the glowy primer and then whatever foundation you want on top is fine. You could do the Studio Fix if you want something that'll kind of tone it down a little bit. You can go even more glowy. You can do, oh God, I don't even know. What other ones are there? Anyway, I'm going to show you ones that I quite like. So, you could go for the MAC Tinted, or not MAC, Inglot Beautifier Tinted Cream. I use the shade 101. It's a good colour. It's a little bit warm, but with everything else on it's fine. It's a great product. It's a kind of medium-ish coverage, sheer medium coverage. Tinted moisturiser, really moisturising, really glowy. You can set it, you don't have to set it. It's not too shiny on the skin is what I quite like. As in, if you were oily, you could get away with this with the right primer underneath it. So that's one option, and I would apply that on my fingers. Your next option is a MAC foundation. This is the Studio Waterweight Foundation, SPF 30 in the shade NC15. Great foundation. Again, I would probably apply with my fingers or a light duo fibre brush, nothing too dense. It's a sheer medium coverage, nice and kind of hydrated, but it's pigmented, so you do get a good bit of coverage out of it, if that makes sense. So he's a lovely one. Again, oily skin can get away with it with the right primer. I would use a good primer though with it. The one I'm going to go for is my more kind of shinier foundation. This is the Maybeline Fit Me Dewy and Smooth Foundation for normal to dry skin, and I use the shade 110 Porcelain. It's this colour here. Again, it's smidgen. It's not as great as a colour match as, say, your MAC Studio Fix Fluid NC10 is a better match on me, but it's a good match. It's a good foundation. It's a good sheer medium coverage, probably more on the medium side. Really nice and glowy, you'll see when I put it on. But this is the option I'm going to use. And again, you can go many ways with your foundation application. I've been using sponges quite a bit actually recently. But this I'm going to use. It's quite shiny. Say you're oily, again, watch whatever moisturizer, whatever primer you tend to use. You can see it's a little bit deep for me. My application I'm going to use is the Real Techniques buffing brush. I'm going to apply it with this guy. It's actually my all-time favourite brush for foundation. I don't use it too often, but I do love it. So you can see it's a little bit deep for me. That's fine. Still has slightly yellow undertone to it, which I do quite like. Not that I'm opposed to a pinkier undertone. I like a lot of the stuff I use has a pink undertone in it, but I find yellow undertones are a bit easier to blend with my neck, so. And I'm just applying this all over. And the reason I'm going with this as well is because it does have that bit of coverage in it. It will help with this on this side. You always have to think of your factors with your skin. So if you're prone to get a breakout, which I'm actually not really prone to get a breakout, I might get 1 or 2 spots here and there, but it's not a full-blown breakout. This, I don't know what this is. Like, I'm assuming it's stress, because I can't. My hormonal breakout is only like 1 spot, but this is something else, and I think it's stress. I don't know what I'm stressed about, but I'm stressed apparently. So my skin is telling me I'm stressed. You can see this, you get this really nice airbrushed finish with this brush as well, which I love. It just makes it still look like skin on your skin. Okay, so I've just zoomed you guys in there so you can see the texture and the light's a little bit deeper, not deeper, but not as, say, washed out. So you can see the texture and the freckles and all this that's happening on my skin right now. But ignoring this because we're not going for coverage, we're more going for the look of the skin. You can see the nice shine on the cheeks. You can see like all here, lovely and glowy and glossy on the skin. That kind of glass skin sort of look to it. So that's generally what we're aiming for. I'm going to pop you a bit there, I think. Yeah, that's nice. Now, concealer. So concealer, main function again is coverage. So you don't need to faff about too much with it, but you do want something that's not too matte. So I wouldn't go for, say, the likes of your soft matte from NARS, the one in the little pot. I don't own it. I've never actually used it, but I do know it's quite matte on the skin. Not very matte, but it's matte enough. I wouldn't go Studio Fix concealer, the 24-hour concealer, that one. I wouldn't go for that. It's too matte. Some stick finishes can be a little bit matte, but some can be quite creamy, so they're quite nice as well. So you need to work it yourself, whatever way you want to use it. So what I'm going to go between, what I'm going to show you actually, more so than actually use myself, but I will use maybe two of these. So your first option would be your Inglot Under Eye Concealer. It's a lighter coverage, so it's about a sheer medium, probably more of a medium coverage, not a full coverage. I'm in the shade 95. It would work okay with this foundation, but not say my MAC Studio Fix NC10. I always reference that one just because I know that that's the perfect match on me for my neck. But even now you can see like it's not too bad, and once I put everything else, once I put my concealer on, it's fine. It doesn't set, so that's kind of what you want with your glowier foundations, that they don't set. Because you can always set them if you want to, but you want that shine, you want that kind of look off them. So he's lovely for under the eyes. Your next option is one of my all-time favorites, is the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in the shade, I use the shade 05. I can use 15 as well, but I prefer 05 because under the eyes it brightens a little bit more for me. Again, doesn't set, it's a medium coverage, and it's just really nice texture, really nice kind of skin-like texture. And then next, it's a bit more full coverage. It's the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. It's radiant, what you want. Nice and creamy. Again, it doesn't set, more of a fuller coverage. It's a bit brighter. So what I'm going to use today, I'm actually going to use my Inglot Under Eye Concealer. I know I never really use this, but I do want to use it today. But I also might add a bit of this just to brighten a little bit more if that's not bright enough. Now, just for my own face, because I am having this moment, I am going to go into my little concealer palette from MAC. That's just for my own sake. It's only for my own face. If you're having a bit of a breakout, you can still use something like this on the skin. But around these areas where you have the higher points of your face on your cheekbones, just be wary that these will be a little bit better for the glow on the skin. So I'm taking some of the Inglot concealer on my hand, and then I'm going to take it on my finger because I always prefer my finger with my under eyes. Now, if this is actually light enough, I won't actually use the NARS one, but I'll just see how I feel towards the end. Judge your own face. You can, decide yourself if this is enough, or if you want loads more, you can add more. Sometimes I do just use this, so it's actually nice, but I probably will use more. As I'm looking into the mirror, I probably will use a little bit more, because I can see in my mirror when I do this, I can see it in my mirror that I can see my dark circles. So it does give coverage, like it's great. It's just not enough for my dark circles, let's say. But it is a nice option. Then I'm going to take the Radiant Creamy Concealer, and we're just going to dot that. I literally only do it where I'm dark because it is quite pigmented. I don't like popping it too far around. You can see there now, that's way brighter. But I do still want it to be somewhat natural, so that's why I used the Inglot one. Okay, and then off camera, I'm actually going to use this guy and conceal all this because we don't need to see this right now. I'm probably still going to have this breakout when I film my concealer video, so I'll show you then how to spot conceal and do all that kind of jazz and go in more detail about it, so you'll have to wait and see for that kind of video. So yeah, I'll be back in a sec. Okay, so depending on your skin, you could literally stop here, end off, set it with some setting spray, and you're good to go. But I'm not going to do that because for my skin and say for my work life, it doesn't last that well. It's just, I don't know, it just never lasts as well as I want to. So I am going to use a bit of powder. Again, you don't have to. Hi, Dave, my boyfriend. He's after texting me. I am going to use some powder, and I'm actually going to use the MAC mineralized powder because it is mattifying. I will say that, but it still looks like skin, so that's what I want. I'm not going to set everywhere. I'm not going to set my cheeks. I'm just going to set my forehead and maybe around my mouth where I've popped that concealer. When I've done my look after, because I am going to film after this, I will do this side of my face, but I'm not going to do that right now. So yeah, I'm going to use this Real Techniques big blush brush, I think it's called. The name is worn off mine. And we're just going to use something like that. I prefer bigger brushes when I want a lighter application because it doesn't pack it on too much. So I'm just going to take it here, here, and here. I'm going to take it down the sides. I'm not going to do my nose because, again, I want that shine. And I also want to use creams later, like cream blush, cream highlight. So I want to keep that nice and creamy. That's pretty much it. I don't set my under eyes anyway, that regardless of what kind of look I'm doing, I never set my under eyes. So this is pretty much a look. Let me zoom you guys in again. So again, you can kind of see, you can still see a blemish or two here, but your look, what can you do? I tried and I don't really mind too much anyway. So it does look really nice. It's a bit more matte up here obviously as well. But that's just up to yourself, whatever way you want it to look. I'm going to show you guys this though. So we all know MAC's Fix Plus Spray, or at least you will eventually. I have the Fix Plus Gold Light, which is the kind of shimmery one. It looks like lava. It looks really cool. I like it. It basically just gives you more hydration and more of a sheen on the skin. It's not super glittery, but it just helps with this sort of look where you want it to look a bit glowy. It'll also take away the super powdered look of the forehead where I've it powdered and around my mouth, but still keeping it in place. So, well, that was a fail. You have to make sure you really shake this one up because of the little kind of shimmery particles in it. It may sputter and you may get some random kind of sparkly bits. So just make sure that you're really going in and shaking the life out of that bad boy. But that will give you, it'll give you a little bit of a sheen across the skin, kind of like the way the Strobe cream would or something like that. But it just takes away that like powdered look off the skin. And you kind of see the gold little particles when it dries, but in a really nice soft way. So yeah, this is our dewy skin. Alrighty guys, so this is the finished how-to skin of the dewy skin. It's our last kind of skin look, unless you guys want me to do something else. I can't really think of anything else that I want to do with this. I will be doing my concealers and powders, and I will be doing my blushes and bronzers, my contour and highlights, my brows and my liners, and my primers. So there will be more, like loads more of these coming. This is just the last of the skin ones. I hope you all enjoy these videos. I enjoy making them because I can actually kind of do 2 videos in one. Hi Dave, again. There you go, thank you. I can actually do 2 videos in one. So like I'm gonna film next now, and it's so handy, so easy. Now obviously the next ones probably won't be as easy because I'm gonna be doing weird things with them. I might be doing weird shaped liners, I might be doing like different, one brow on one side and one brow on the other side, be completely different. So those might not be, but these are actually really fun and really cool, and I like going a little bit more in depth with all the details. I hope you liked this look. I quite like how this looks, and I am going to film now. I know I've got no makeup on while I'm doing this outro, as in no eye makeup and lip and cheek and all that kind of stuff on, but I am going to film and I will probably forget to do an outro, so I want to do one now. But if I do remember, I might just redo the outro. We'll see. I probably won't though, I'll probably forget. So yeah, this is our look, but I will take pictures with more makeup on. So when I've got my blush and everything on, obviously because it looks a bit more complete that way. So yeah, that's how I'm going to do that. If you did like this look, give me a big thumbs up down below. Let me know in the comments what you think of this skin, and out of the 4, what is your favourite? What's your fave skin? Would you mix them together? Would you just wear one at a time? I kind of mix them together. I kind of do this skin, but I might also do a fuller coverage depending on how my skin looks. Or I might, if my skin is really good, I'll do more natural skin with this kind of look. That's my 2 kind of faves. I do quite like those 2. So yeah, you can let me know in the comments. And also if you have any more suggestions, you can let me know in the comments as well. And then hit subscribe down below to see more of these how-to videos, to see more of my videos that I have coming up that I'm definitely pre-filming because I'm trying to get as much done in these 10 days off that I have as I can. So yeah, I'll see you in the next video guys. Bye!